So consumer experiences with the brand, and we think about it in terms of marketing, but step away for a second. So I'm a fairly impatient flyer. And when I've flown on certain airlines, which I will not mention, I have been a fan of their brand and I've had affinities with them. I've had their loyalty programs. And then all of a sudden you wind up in an environment where you're on the phone with somebody, you've been completely rerouted, they're not helping you, and you have this terrible experience. The reality of it is that shapes your opinion, and that shaped my opinion far more than all of the millions of dollars they've spent to be able to establish themselves with me. Brands are really relationships between consumers and companies. That's really what it's about, and it's about an expectation that's set based on that. All of your friends, each of those folks in a way have their own brand, and you relate to them based on who they are and what you can expect from them. Brands are no different. So it's incredibly important that the brand experience itself not just be something that you put in advertising, but it's something that everyone in a corporation actually engages with, embraces, and works to strive to deliver every day. Because you're only as good as your worst experience, and that integration and that belief system. Southwest Airlines, I'll use another airlines as a great example. When you go on a Southwest flight, you get an experience that's very much in line with what you expect from a consumer, or what you expect from that company based on what they're advertising, who they claim to be. The flight attendants are fun. They're wearing shorts. It's engaging. They're not trying to be what they're not. And every single touch you have, whether it's customer care, whether it's an ad, no matter where it is, even what the chairman goes out and talks about, is all in line with that experience you expect from the brand. And that's what truly great brands are. Not brands that advertise well or do fun executions in advertising, but brands that truly understand who they are and understand how to deliver that at every single touch they have with the consumer. Okay, so brand equity is an incredibly hard thing to build. Most brands never achieve it. But when a brand actually gets customers that continue to come back time after time after time because they feel an affinity to the brand, it's unbelievably critical that be valued, cherished, and delivered on. So the way brands can actually try to make sure they build that loyalty is by being loyal to the consumers that give them loyalty. It's really about understanding how do you deliver the experience that you promised at every step of the way. I was in a restaurant the other day, and great example of this. I sat there and I ordered it was salmon with sauteed spinach. What I got was the salmon salad. It was delicious. I ate it. I was thrilled. At the end of the meal, when my bill came, the manager came over and said, "You didn't get the right thing." And I told him it was fine. I had no problem with it. It was really good. He said, "No, you didn't get the right thing. I'm going to give you a free meal next time you come." Now, the impact of that is a microcosm of what brands need to be able to do. It was a restaurant that had a reputation of being great service and great food, and I walked away thinking I was going to come back not just because of the free meal. Matter of fact, I might not even use the coupon, but I was going to come back because they actually cared, and that mattered. So brand identities are a combination of a lot of different factors. First off, you've got to understand the essence of who you are as a company. Every company has a different culture. Every company has a different way of working and a belief system. And the number one thing is you've got to be true to yourself. You've got to look at your consumer and understand what is their unmet need, what are they looking for, and how can you relate to them in a way that is both different and compelling. You've got to look at your competitors and understand if there's 3 competitors out there and they're occupying different spaces, the one thing you don't want to do is occupy the same space and just be a lot of noise. So you've got to understand what is the unique you that you can define. And finally, you need to look at it in terms of the problems that you can solve for consumers in the industry that you're in. What is it that you're doing for them? What role do you play in their lives? How are you helping them? And Geico is a great example of a company that looked at things and said, I want to be different, I want to be incredibly simple. I want to be fun in an industry that at the time wasn't known as fun. And I want to solve a problem, which was insurance was incredibly expensive. And they really transformed the entire auto insurance industry by not being the insurance industry. And they built this brand proposition that was truly about being the consumer advocate and being fun in an environment where they saw a competitive opportunity, both from a product perspective and from a competitive perspective. But then they executed that throughout. So they made an easier claim process. They made sure that when you called in, you got the experience they were promising. So it's really about an orchestration, building a promise that you can keep, building a promise that matters, and building a promise that's different.